if you had asked me if I had any sort of interest in this car brand a couple years ago, I would have told you absolutely no. I had a friend growing up who had a car from this brand, and they literally had a giant-sized Band-Aid holding the bumper to the car because of how bad these cars were made. They lacked a great design, they lacked any sort of decent features, and they lacked cool tech. However, as they've transitioned to electric cars, they've really taken this as an opportunity to reinvent themselves and do some really dope stuff. This is Gear to Gear. My name is Abel, and today we're going to be checking out the 2023 Hyundai Ioniq 5 limited edition because my boy did not cheap out when he bought this car. Let's get it. All right, y'all, so diving into the exterior of the Ioniq 5, one thing I absolutely love about this car is these headlamps. These headlamps are absolutely dope, and they're these square pixels, and they look so different than every type of headlamp that's out there on the road right now. These also are the daytime running lights. And then kind of getting into the side profile of this car, I absolutely love, of course, power folding mirrors, but more importantly, these door handles. They're like these blades that just pop out, and they look so cool. And they're very easy to open as well. And then when we look at the full profile of this car is super angular, it's very sharp, and it looks very different than a lot of the cars that is competing with, right? We're talking about the Mach-E, we're talking about the Model Y. This thing is very, very different for the sheer fact that it's like less rounder. They really went with sharper lines, a lot more straight lines, and I think it just plays out to a better design on this car. We get into the back as well, guys, and we see the pixelated light bar in the back, and of course these things are so cool looking. They just look so different, and I think it really just makes this car look extra dope. All right, also getting into the Frunk, I can't lie, this is a very poor excuse of a Frunk. This is the only storage space that you get. You could put charging cables here, you could put windshield wiper fluid here, but that's about it. And it's also very inconvenient to get to. It's by the driver's footwell or whatever, so not really good storage here. So getting into the back of this car, there really isn't a lot of storage either in the back, especially for an electric car. Typically you have the wheel well in addition to all of this space here to essentially use as additional storage. However, you don't really get that. You are able to fold the seats down, so that does of course give you additional room, but having that extra space would be nice, especially because as an electric car you do expect there to be a Frunk, and there really isn't. Starting off with the cabin design, there's a lot of great things going for this car. I think one thing that I definitely wish that they could have improved was the quality of the materials that they use here on this side of the door. It's like a cheaper plastic, and it's not really soft to touch. They also use this same material up on the dashboard. However, they definitely invested a great amount in the high touch point areas, including the window controls, the door handle, the turn signal, the windshield wiper, as well as the gear shifter. This metal material is super nice. The steering wheel is soft to touch and it's easier to turn. You have these paddle shifters for the regenerative braking. This, I was really confused. I was like, is this like a light? What does this mean? This is in Morse code, the letter H, so a little Q to the Hyundai symbol. Starting off on this side of the dashboard, you have this magnetic strip section here, which allows you to, personalize it. You can add a magnet, you can add a photo there. I've seen people add like a small magnetic plant, which is super cool. You have this dashboard that is a full digital display with a bunch of information. I almost felt that it was a bit overwhelming. And then same thing kind of goes into the infotainment system. There's just a lot kind of going on here. There is Apple CarPlay, so that simplifies the the experience with the infotainment system. One very cool thing is you have this 360 view of the camera, so you get to see like a 3D model of the car, and you get to like navigate it in this way, which I found very fun. And of course, when you're parking, it really helps you see your full surrounding. And then kind of just shifting over to the right side, you can see there's illuminated lighting around the speakers, which is very cool as well. Another cool thing about this interior is the Vision sunroof. This glass doesn't actually open, but it does introduce a lot of natural light in here, which is always welcomed. And then I really like how it closes. That actually like meets in the middle versus just like opening from one direction. So that's very cool. Guys, so getting into the back seat, the back seats are very, very roomy. You can adjust the seats in a couple of different ways as well. You can also recline them, which is very nice. That's good for like long road trips. You have USB-A inputs. You have a power outlet down here. You have illuminated speakers over there. And then I love the fact that you have this window shade, especially on hot days. It is very nice to have. One more feature I want to cover with this car, guys, is the smart park assist. So essentially, when you remote start the car, you can essentially move the car in and out of super tight parking spots. Check this out. All you gotta do is just hold on to this button and the car will either go in and out of parking spots. This is super dope. So behind the wheel on the Ioniq 5, this is a very calm and collected driving experience. It's very different than the Corvette that I drove. And this makes it a very great commuter car. If you're looking for like a calm driving experience that's quiet, this car is certainly quick. It does 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds because of the all-electric powertrain. However, I don't really have the desire to do that a lot. I really just want to drive calmly and relaxed, and this car allows you to do so. It has great features. It has great tech. It has great driver assist features as well. For example, lane keeping assist. It has adaptive cruise control. When you are in adaptive cruise control, when you turn on the turn signals, it'll actually change lanes for you as well. Also, when you turn on the turn signals, it has a blind spot camera, which is just nice, right? Like when you turn it on, of course you should be turning your head, but it also, you know, does a great job of showing you your blind spot. So overall, this is a great vehicle. It gets 266 miles of range with this trim. However, the other trims, like the lower trims, will get, I think, close to about 300. He did tell me that, my friend did tell me that when he drives on eco mode, he will get close to 300 miles of range, which is great, honestly. And if you're in the market for a crossover, especially if you're living in a place like Silicon Valley where there's just a ton of Tesla Model Ys and you want to get something different, this is a great alternative option. If you guys want to see a review of the Model Y or you know, the Ford Mustang Mach-E, let me know. I would be more than happy to do those reviews. But until then, I really appreciate you guys watching this review of the 2023 Hyundai Ioniq 5. And until next time, peace out.